welcome to Budget to Blessings. I know I've been missing for a while, but I'm here. We wasn't able to do a savings with Shalonda on Sunday this week because we didn't have any extra funds. We wasn't able to do game night on Monday because we ain't had no extra funds, which means I didn't make any extra money. And there was just no extra money. And I think I spent everything this week. I mean, there may be a cash stuffing this week, and we'll see how that goes because I am going on vacation next week, so I'm trying to prepare for that. But we are out of everything. We are all out of money as of yesterday. I'm empty on E. Yes, on E. But so the topic today will be, we're going to talk about a personal budget. So that's going to be the topic for today. And you guys know that I am working on my budget. It's getting there, but I already know what the problem was. The root problem was those paying fours, and we're working to resolve them. So it's like I'm going through, like kind of like a withdrawal type thing, when you have these things that, you're trying very hard to get through that. So we had that. Yes, the girls are not here with me. They have been bugging me though all weekend, all day. Gigi, when are we going to get on YouTube? All they want to do is be on YouTube, and all they showing is their hands, but they just think we want to be on YouTube. So they're not here right now. Not yet. You may hear them running in before this video is over. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with our affirmation. We always want to start with our affirmation. We want to start with something promising, manifestation. We want to just start with something, to get us started. So the affirmation for today is, every day in every way, I am becoming more financially abundant and secure. And that is actually the goal, because y'all know the goal is, I want to retire at 62. That is the goal. So, in order for me to reach that goal, I have to be on a budget. Yes, I have to be able to tell my dollars where I want that dollar to go, right? I want to be able to say, this dollar, I want you to go here. This dollar, I want you to go there. That's what I want to be able to do. So let's talk about a budget. What is a personal budget? Everybody probably has a different view of what they think a personal budget is. And when you think, everybody really should have a budget. It doesn't matter if you make $50. It doesn't matter if you make $1 million. A budget is actually necessary. Even big corporations have budgets. For those of us who have our own businesses, we ought to have a budget for that. My budget for my business was very low. It was like $100 a week. Basically, that's 4 t-shirts a week. That could be 3 tumblers of the week. My budget for my business was never real big, but I had a budget for that. And then I also would track my expenses. And a lot of times, my expenses, I was in the negative. If I was to write, it would just down, which I don't keep a good track of my business stuff, which I need to start. I would be in the red because I spend way more money on buying supplies and things than what I actually bring in. But okay, so what is a personal budget? A personal budget is a financial plan created by individuals to track income and expenses, ensuring responsible money management and financial goals. It's being responsible. Basically, a budget is just showing a way of you being responsible of your money. And I think when now that I have a budget, and I've been having a budget since June, been working on one anyway, y'all. My budget is nowhere near perfect. It's always going to be it's always going to be where I'm going to have to tweak it anyway. Things change, especially your variable expenses, things change. And sometimes you have to move money here, and different things. So your budget sometimes will never be the same. But that is what a personal budget is. And I like that. It's to ensuring responsible money management. Even your big corporations have to have budgets. I'm currently the stewardship leader for my church, and I do their budget. So the ministries hand me a budget. I go over the budget, depending on if I can give them that amount or not. But I deal with the budget. At the end of the year, I have to write, come up with the budget. What's our budget for next year and what we have to spend on this and that. Yes, so it's just a requirement. And just let you know how to track your money. right now I only have 5 reasons. There could be a million reasons why people budget. But first of all, you need to, in my opinion, you need to have a why. Why am I budgeting? Am I budgeting to save a home? Am I budgeting so I can get a car? Am I budgeting for childcare? Am I budgeting for my child to go to private school? What are your reasons to why you feel like you need to have a budget? Like for me, in order for me to feel like I want to be successful with a budget, I needed a goal. What was my end goal going to be with the budget? So the 5 reasons to budget is financial control. Budgeting helps you take control of your finances, ensuring you may know where your money goes. You want to know where you spend your money. I know that I try to track every dollar as possible in my little my wallet binder that I carry. I try to check off if I spend $1, I want to mark I spent $1 on a pretzel. I want to mark everything where all my money goes so that I know how to really control it. Whether I'm doing too much, whether I'm spending too much money in that category or different things like that, so it does help you be able to take charge of where your dollar's going. Another reason is savings. It enables you to save money for future goals or emergency. We all talk about that $1,000 emergency fund. I know I do not have that right now. Yes, I am working towards that. And that is for in an emergency. If something was to happen, you want to be able to go to that emergency fund and you want to be able to grab the money from there, because before, and I'm still probably doing it now because I don't have an emergency fund, I may have to rob Peter to pay Paul, and then you still got to rob Paul to pay Peter. You still going to have to rob somebody, and then you be moving money that can't be moved, and then you end up being behind. And that is what happens when you don't have a emergency fund, because you don't have no extra money, or you're maxing out your credit cards and or going into more debt. Savings is also good for future goals. If you want to buy a house in the next 5 years, if you want to get a brand new car, let's say in the next year or so. I don't have a car right now. I don't have a car. I can't decide if I want a car payment or just try and buy another car. So I'm stuck in between that. But then I was thinking maybe I should save up money, a couple months of what a car note would be, and then I will be ahead of the game. So, it's things to think about, but it's saved for those big vacations, I one day hope to go visit Africa. Like, that is my dream trip, but that's not a cheap trip, nor do I want to shortchange myself on that trip. Like, that's a trip. So if I'm going to take that trip in 3 years from now or 4 years, I need to save now. Like, I need a savings now to start paying for that trip. So I won't have to put it on a credit card. So I won't pay my rent or my mortgage. I don't want to talk about that. We all, some of us might have been there before. I know in my younger days, when I had my first apartment and I was learning responsibility, at times I would just spend the whole check and be like, oh my word, I can't even pay this. I remember them. I was young. I ain't doing it now. Now I'm making sure my rent get paid. I ain't doing, no way. Back then you did that kind of stuff. So you need an emergency fund. 5, another reason, debt management. Budgets can help you avoid or reduce debt by planning expenses. That's what I was saying, because what we do is we pull out that credit card and let me just use the credit card, and then now you in credit card debt when you could have had a budget to save for that. How much? Okay, so I need $3,000 to make the purchase of a computer. So how about we plan for it? How about I start planning for it and then knowing how to save for it? And then just once it's saved up, then I can go buy it. I think people would appreciate things more. Do you agree? Do you think you appreciate things more if you actually saved for it? Instead of just thinking you could just, here you go the credit card, just go, still got to pay it. Plus with interest, still got to pay it. So another reason is goal achievement, trying to keep us in the frame. I know these print is all big, but I typed, like, I was copying and pasting and doing all this stuff, and I was just printing, and it's just printed real big here. When I printed it out, I was like, why is this up so big? But yeah, it's big. But I'm trying to keep it in frame. So the fourth one is goal achievement. Budgeting assists in achieving financial goals such as buying a home or traveling. What I just said. You want to save for those big things. Weddings. If you plan on getting married, you want to save for that. The other goal achievement that people are starting to save for early, and I like to hear when young mothers, my children are grown now, but I could be saving for my grandchildren for college. To just be able to room and board is expensive out here. So just to be able to have those things done. So that's another goal, even for school. Yes. Schooling. Yes. And then number 5, look, peace of mind. Knowing your financial situation can reduce stress and promote financial security. Ain't nothing like some peace of mind. And we all know that money, when we're trying to pay bills and we don't have enough, keeps you up at night. You be up all night, you be tossing and turning all night trying to figure out how in the world you going to pay somebody. I've been there and I'm still there. I still be up sometimes thinking I'm going to do that. Really? Okay, where that money going to come from? Yes, been there, done that. Yes, so honey, and peace of mind is priceless. Whew, that one got me a little sick. Because honey, now I really don't stress too much. Since I've been budgeting, it ain't been that bad as it used to be, but you lose a lot of sleep worrying about how you going to pay something. Okay, so what you want to do, and I think this is kind of out of order, but we're going to go ahead and go on with it. You want to determine your goals. Decide your financial objectives, like saving for a vacation or paying off debt. What is your goal? Y'all all know my goal is to retire at 62. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to keep repeating it. I know you're probably sick of hearing it, but it is my goal, honey. I am done working. I think I would just tell somebody this. I'm done. They'd be like, what? Yes, that is the end result for me. I also want to help my grandchildren when they go to, I also want that to be a goal, but as my personal goal is to retire at 62. And so you need to have a goal, because I think when you have a goal, it's easier to want to do that, to want to set a budget, to want to save money if you just have an end goal. You also want to calculate, it is definitely out of order. You want to calculate your income. You want to add up all your sources of income, such as salary, freelance work, or rental income. Some of us have passive income, making money while we're sleeping. You want to calculate all of that, add all that income together, and that will be considered, all your sources will be considered your income. You want to list your expenses. Now, this is going to be different for everybody. Because everybody's expenses are different. Some people have 2 incomes, split their expenses. Somebody may pay all the bills. Who knows? But all expenses are different. Some people have kids go to private school, so that is an expense that they pay every month. Some people have kids in college and need to cover some of those expenses and things like that. So you want to categorize your expenses into fixed, which would be your rent and utilities, and your variables, which is your groceries and entertainment. But utilities can be variable too, because sometimes utility bills are not always the same. But when we talk about the 4 walls, that's in there with the rent, utilities, and food and transportation for your 4 walls. But groceries and entertainment, some of that stuff just varies. And then you want to track your spending. You want to monitor the spending. Do it 1 month at a time. I know that I'm doing it. Like I said, I track my spending every day, what I spend, if I can remember to write it down. Sometimes I may give $2 somewhere and be like, well, why I'm off? Why am I, and I'll just be like, okay, zero it out because I can't remember what I did. But you want to track your spending. You could get a little notebook from the dollar store, one of them little ones, and just write down every day. And I know, not recently, but before, when I was budgeting, I used to always budget for the month. Let's say I'm budgeting for October. So in November, I'm always like, I want to spend less than what I did in October. That used to be like my challenge. Okay, I'm going to spend less than what I did in October. But you definitely want to track your spending. Okay, so you want to create categories, assign specific amounts to each spending category based on your goals and previous spending. So you won't be able to do that until you be able to look at some bank statements, till you look at your spending habits, and then you can adjust the amounts. Okay, number 6, you want to set some limits. Determine spending limits for each category to stay within your budget. What is it you want to spend for food? What is it you want to spend for personal? What is it you want to spend for miscellaneous? And I know a lot of us are already doing that. What do you want to spend? What is your personal money? What do you spend with personal money? Clothing, entertainment. Because now, budgeting don't have to be boring. Budgeting doesn't mean you don't get to do anything. That's not what it is. No, it's just budgeting for it, making sure you're four walls, making sure those things are getting taken care of, and then doing other things. So, a lot of us wants to do stuff date night. We want to eat out, which that's my thing. I love to eat out. If I could eat out every day, I would eat out every day. But we want to be able to set some limits to what we want to spend. And then you want to record your expenses. So track expenses as you incur them, either manually or with a budgeting app. So some of us are still paper. Some of us got to write it on paper. And then some of us are digital because we are in a digital world. So whichever, we want to record your expenses. Review and adjust. Regularly review your budget and make adjustments as needed to align with your goals. You may have to, if you're trying to get to the goal, you may have to increase more in another area and decrease in another area. You may have to, if you notice that, I know that's what I did with my grocery bill. I noticed that I wasn't spending what I was, if it was $100 and I noticed I'm not spending $100, let me reduce that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm spending underneath that, and take that money to apply to somewhere else. So you want to always review. It could be monthly. Some of us may do things monthly. Some of us may do quarterly, some of us may do semi-annually, and some of us may wait annually to be able for the following year. So it's all up to you. You want to save and invest. You definitely want to invest. And I'm not sure about investing. I mean, I do my 401k. Sorry for the noise, y'all. I'm by the window. And I do some Robinhoods and Stash. I do some of them little ones too. And, put some money in some stock, Walmart. I do that too. But I'm not, real familiar and know a lot of information on invest. But you definitely want to save and invest. 10, stick to your budget. Discipline is key. Make an effort to adhere to your budget to achieve your financial goals. That's it. Sticking to your budget. Now, there may be some changes. There may be some financial changes, living arrangement changes, employment, all kinds of things could happen. But you just try to adjust the budget and then try to stick to a new one. And I also would like to say is, make the budget realistic. Do not be making a budget that ain't your budget because it's somebody else's budget. No, you can't do that. I worked with a young lady before, and she was we were all doing budgets and stuff, and she was trying to do my budget like her budget. And her budget works for her. It didn't work for me. Like different things for what we spend for food and bills and utilities and gas. It's going to always be slightly different. So stick to your budget. Make your budget around what you make and what you do and how you spend. And monitor your progress. Always monitor your progress. Even give yourself, if you felt like you stayed on track and you were under budget for the month, you want to monitor yourself because you want to pat yourself on the back, give your hand clap, because it's not easy to do these things. Remember, budgeting is a flexible tool that can be tailored to your unique financial circumstances and goals. No two budgets are going to be alike. And after that, give yourself some grace as you work on your monthly budget. Give yourself some grace. Do not beat yourself up. Do not beat yourself up if you even go over your budget. Don't beat yourself up. Give yourself some grace. Go back and make some changes and see where you have a little bit of flexibility at. Because right now it's hard out here. We all know it's hard, and we all have our different struggles and stuff. So I'm going to say it again. Give yourself some grace as you work on your monthly budget. Okay, there are various types of income. There's earned income, passive income, investment income, rental income, business income, pension and retirement income, which I'm trying to get to number 6. There's Social Security income, dividend incomers, and interest income, alimony and child support, and royalties, and gift or inherited income. So these are all the various types of income, and we all fall in here somewhere. Under the business income would be where I would say even your passive income would go under, where people are, if you have an Etsy shop and you do digital. If you have Shopify, you do digital, Printify, and different things like that, and you have digital, then yes, that's passive income where you're making income while you sleep. And there's probably some other ones out there too. So, this is the thing you need to go. This is how, I can't talk. This is how you can make your budget, is determine your income. Where you fall at in here. And it's going to be, that's why I said everybody's budgets and different things are going to be different depending on where they get their income. There may be 2 household income, a single house income. There may be those who are still home with their parents and the income, just different things that could income. There are people who have roommates and different things, but income is what determines how you're going to be able to handle your budget. Now, if you're a business person and you do that full time, and it's funny because I was just talking to a friend of mine, and I would love to do my business full time if I was more disciplined. I'm not disciplined enough to do that, because I would have to grind. And you got to grind, because that's their income. That's how people, I have some friends, that's what they do. That's how they survive. So they got to push, always selling something on Facebook. They got to do it because that's how they make their income. I'm not disciplined enough for that. I am getting into passive income. So my Etsy shop, which was supposed to come out on October 1st, that was supposed to be my grand day. It's not, I haven't announced it yet here to anybody really, but it's been up for a while. Just haven't really announced it. I'm still trying to tweak it a little bit, and it's digital. Some's digital, some it will be physical, but at least the digital stuff will give me some passive income. And and my income is a full-time job. And then now around holiday time, I go and I usually work at Kohl's, which I've worked there forever since 2007. I was there like all the time, part-time, and then I stop and just would go back at seasonal. And so here I am going back at seasonal, and that's my additional income. And that's really for holiday. I was kind of decided if I wanted to do it, and I said, you know what, you didn't really start a savings for it, so now you can, because you'll have that extra income for the holiday. So those are the various incomes. And these are some common types of income, but it's important to note that individual financial situations may involve other sources of income as well. All right, so these things are really out of order, and I don't know where the other page is. Okay, so, yeah, y'all, I don't know where the page is. But okay, so this right here will be talking about your expenses here. So we have housing, that's your rent or mortgage, or property taxes for those who may own their home. And then homeowners, and then the other one is homeowners or renters insurance, and utilities, your electric, water, gas, maintenance, and repairs. And then those are basically your 4 walls. And then transportation, those are the 4 walls that really come first. So that's why they are numbered 1, 2. They should be first. And the next one will be 3, will be your food. Gotta eat. Included in food, some people add their dining out and takeout, and I explained to you when I do my grocery, that's where my takeout food is. What, Matt?
I have your iPhone now.
Prince, I don't know where the other iPhone is. Look for it downstairs. And so in my food bills where I take out if I'm gonna eat out, it comes out of my groceries. I don't have a separate envelope for dining out. I believe I'm going to create one for that, but I don't have one. And then you have your debt payments. This is your credit card payments. This is student loans, which is coming back. Yes. And then any personal loans that you may have. These are your expenses. Healthcare. That comes out of my check. You're right. That is an expense. It comes out of my check. But I know people who own their own businesses and things like that have to actually pay for it on their own. You have your personal care. And then, and including that is usually your toiletries, your personal grooming, your products, your haircuts, your salon visits. All that's under personal care. So that envelope would be personal care. And then you would have an envelope made for entertainment, your streaming services, which I guess streaming services would come under your entertainment and your movie tickets or concerts. I don't know. Some of this I would separate it a little bit. But I guess it is a streaming your services. I don't really watch TV, so I guess that is entertainment. Watching TV is entertainment. I don't really watch TV, so I guess it would be. And your hobbies and leisure activities. Okay. And then you have your clothing and apparel. Clothing purchases, shoes, and accessories. Another expense. And then you have education, tuition, and school expenses, books and supplies. And that would also go for people who have kids in private school. And then you have your savings and investments, and then your child care and education. And I guess this is where the school child care is not. This education is if you're still in school or your child is in college, and this one's for child care and if your child goes to a private school. And then you have your life insurance. And life insurance could include pet insurance and disability. And then you have taxes, income taxes, property taxes, sales taxes. For those who have homes, those would need an envelope for that. And then you have gifts and donations. You would create an envelope for that. And then travel and vacation, which is my favorite, 15. I love to travel. And yeah, I love to travel. And then 16 is your miscellaneous. Any other expenses that don't fit into the specific categories that we just mentioned, you could have an envelope just for that. And that could be unique depending on the individual. After listing your monthly expenses and categorizing them as either fixed or variable, fixed costs are unavoidable, such as rent, utilities, transportation, insurance, food, and debt repayment. They're fixed. Variable expenses like gym memberships or dining out offer more flexibility. In tight financial situations, you can cut discretionary spending like the gym or dining out, but essential expenses like rent or mortgage remain non-negotiable. Can't change those numbers at all. After categorizing your expenses as fixed or variable, calculate the average monthly expenditure for each. Review your bank and credit card statements for accurate data. So that's where you need to pull your bank statements. And you want to, if your 3-month grocery category average is $433, consider rounding up to a set of budget limit of $450. If you notice that, okay, in the 3 months, I spent about this much, add a little, just adjust it a little bit, add a little bit of buffer to it, so that you'll still be underneath, that you can still stay underneath the budget amount. So just add a little bit more to that. But then if you notice that, no, my average is less than $433, then, you may want to go take it down maybe $20. So that way you can still stay within, we kind of went over fixed expenses and different things like that because the papers were all out of order. Is our video for today. And if you enjoyed it, please like, share, comment. My goal is to get to 200 by the end of December. I am at 180. So if you could help me reach that goal, I really appreciate that. But yeah, that is one of my goals, is to get to 200 by the end of the year. So again, if you liked what you heard today, please subscribe, hit the button so you'll know when I go onto video. Like, comment, and share. And I love to read comments. I do love to read comments. My Etsy shop is coming soon. It's coming. There might be a stuffing of the budget this week. I just got to see, because I'm trying to prepare for my vacation at the same time. So we'll see how that goes. Okay. And again, thank you. Bye.